Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. The Bible mentions angels. So if somebody were to say to me, do you believe in angels? I could say yes, because the Bible mentions angels. But I could also say yes, because I believe I have seen an angel in my life. When I was 4 years old, and I've told this story many times on the air, my dad, when he was very, very ill, he had a bleeding ulcer, and he was an adult, and he was a no-nonsense, down-to-earth guy, and that needs to be said because, you know, sometimes you think, oh, gosh, okay, if he was a flighty kind of a guy, maybe he would say he saw an angel, but he wasn't. Mm-hmm. He wasn't that kind of guy. And he mentioned that he saw an angel while he was in the bed, and the angel appeared, by the way, because my father was a policeman, and he was what do you call it? He would have a second job? Moonlighting. He was moonlighting as a janitor at a church, and the pastor from that church came to the hospital and prayed for him, and my father said he saw an angel behind the pastor when the pastor was praying. We've had in the studio a lot of people from hospice, and I asked them the question, you know, when somebody actually dies in your presence, have you ever seen an angel? And I have never had one say they have. But what they have said is that they believe that the people who are dying see angels. Mm-hmm. They believe they see them, and because they're talking to somebody, and before they pass away. We just had a story the other day of somebody we loved who died, and his wife was telling us that just after he took his last breath, he raised his eyebrows with his eyes closed, shrugged his shoulders, and then shook his head yes.
Yeah.
And so I was like, whoa, I wonder what the conversation was.
Wow.
There was something happening there.
Yeah, that was something.
So this has always been a fascinating topic to me. So that's why I'm looking forward to this interview. Kasey Claytor is on the phone. Kasey wrote the book, The Light of Grace, Journeys of an Angel. And it'll make you think, for sure. Let me say good morning to Kasey. She's a metaphysical teacher, a certified meditation instructor, and inspirational speaker. And just one of the guests I've been looking forward to for a long time. Good morning, Kasey.
Good morning. How are you?
You even speak like an angel. Where are you?
I'm in Titusville, Florida.
Titusville?
Nice.
Not too far away.
A couple hours.
Are you? Have you seen an angel?
I have seen a few.
Really?
In my life. And absolutely. And I've felt them, and I've heard them. And, you know, different cultures call them different things. We may say spirit guide, angel, higher consciousness, our larger soul. There's so many words that we can use to describe what we call angel. I almost don't like to use one word.
Right. So it could be, or you correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not trying to get into a biblical debate, because I think the Bible separates departed souls from angels, right? I think so. But could it be, like, sometimes could we be identifying something as an angel, and then in fact it's a visiting person who has passed away?
That's true. That's absolutely true.
Did you hear the story? There was a story the other day. What was the comedian, Robin, who was in that car accident? Tracy
Morgan.
Tracy Morgan, I think, yeah.
Is it Morgan?
I think so. Do you know who we're talking about?
Yes, I do. There's so many stories like that.
But he was in a coma after that accident on the New Jersey Turnpike, and he told Oprah Winfrey just the other day that while he was in a coma, he saw his father, and he cried more than he ever cried in his life. And the father said, look, we're not ready for you yet. You got to go back. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. That's incredible. But we hear these stories. If we look, we can find these stories almost daily.
Yeah, I know.
There are so many stories like this.
And that's what you have broken your book up into, different stories from different people, and they're very positive, I think.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And it makes it less scary, too, knowing that there really is something over there. I mean, you believe it is, but you wished you could know.
I say that all the time. I say it all the time. I hope everything we've been taught is true. I mean, I hope it doesn't come that I die and that's it, lights out. I hope. I don't know. Do you have any insight into that at all? I mean, more than maybe. Are you psychic in any way?
Well, I've had several different experiences in my life that could be called psychic or extra perception. I've woken up in different rooms in my house and realized I wasn't in my body when I was a young adult.
Oh, really?
And it was scary, and I would float back to my body and get into it. But I've seen visions. In fact, one time I was driving to work and I had the radio blasting. I was a stockbroker, stressed out, listening to rock music, and I felt a tap on my shoulder. I ignored it. Went down the road another mile, felt another tap on my shoulder. So I said to myself, okay. I turned the radio off, and then I heard in my ear clearly, call someone. And when I got to work, I had every intention of calling that person. And as soon as I walked in the door, I had to put out 10 fires. I forgot all about it, and he died the next day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so these kinds of experiences have happened over and over in my life.
Does everybody have one angel a piece, or do angels have more than one earth person?
I don't think there's a limit. In my book, to keep it simple, there's one person that passes away at the beginning of the book, at the opening, and she has ascended to the level to become a guardian angel. She wants to become a guardian angel. And I know that might conflict with some biblical passages,
right.
But that's the wonderful thing about fiction. You don't have to adhere to any particular facts. You can just let go. But she is also joined by another group of angels, and each one has a specialty. So if you're struggling over science, there's an angel that's good at that. If you're struggling with a relationship and you ask your guardian angel for help, he or she might call into assistance another angel that
really?
specializes in that. Yes.
This is where you know if you're full of yourself or not. If I die and God says to me, "What kind of a guardian angel do you want to be?" I'll say, "Yeah, I can help people with relationships." No, not you. That wouldn't be for you. I think I'd have a hard time. One of the things in the book also is the fact that dogs and animals can have spirit companions, that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. I believe animals have spirits very strongly. I think we've all had experiences where we've lost a pet, and then we felt that pet around us later.
Yeah, my dog, I had to put my dog down. I had my dog, how many years? 14 years?
Yes.
14 years, and she was getting so emaciated, and she was just so old, and anyway, it broke my heart, but I had to have her put down. Mm-hmm. I still, that was back in October, I think?
Yes.
To this day, I mean, now it's April, I go home and I still feel like she's at the door when I open the door. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure her energy is there.
So did you write this book so that these conversations would happen? Is this why this book exists, so that you and I and everybody else who reads the book will be talking about these things? Like, is this a subject we don't talk about until there's a reason to talk about it?
I think that my main intention was to be of comfort. I think that it's very comforting
Yeah, that's a good one.
to know that we have all this support and that we have all this assistance. If we just calm our minds down and ask for it, it's there.
Yeah.
And that's always some of the difficult things, because we get so wrapped up in everyday life. We have to make sure everything is done before we go to bed at night. We just don't take time out for ourselves. And you're making it seem in the book that we need to do that. We need to make ourselves number one priority.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I found that. That's why I'm a meditation teacher, because being a stockbroker, I needed that balance. I needed something to balance out the
See, I find
being
it
in your head all the time.
I find it fascinating that you work with money, which is like a very earthy thing, and then you're also a spiritualist in a sense. I don't know if that you like that word, but I mean the fact that you're very aware of all of this, and at the same time you're working with money. It seems like two opposites.
Mm-hmm.
It does, but I think of it as balance. I think of it as using your right and your left brain, and I think we're all meant to do this.
Well, how many times have we prayed for money? I mean, just, oh gosh,
Yeah,
I'm
winning the lottery, that would help our situation.
the lights are gonna be turned off in my house. I need help, dear God. Right? Yeah, I'm sure that's not unusual.
Right.
Hmm.
But money, financial success is a result of a well-lived, well-balanced, well-expressed life, in my opinion.
Not always, though. I mean, you have some people who like bad guys who seem to be doing really well.
Yeah.
But they don't have balance. They don't have the peace. I don't believe.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, and you have some really good people who are poor and like Mother Teresa. She died poor. Mm-hmm. She was really a good person, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But she didn't care about money. That didn't mean anything to her. So why would she go after that?
But here's the thing: if you think about Mother Teresa and what you just said, all of her needs were taken care of. So she didn't put emphasis on it. She let God take care of that.
Mm-hmm. Larry, you got it. That's it. That's perfect.
And your book spans different generations as well. It's not just in the now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One of the characters is in the prehistoric times. That was a lot of fun. One was in the Middle Ages. One was 50 years in the future, so I could play with, what ifs. What if we get our political system fixed? Mm-hmm. What if we get our environment healthier? What would that look like? And then 500 years in the future, what does a fully evolved person look like?
That's an interesting thing. See, what you just said right there is, okay, I don't know anything. I'm just a radio guy. But I've often thought, okay, maybe the meaning of life is to have faith. That's it. Mm-hmm. To learn to have faith in God. Just say, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of it. It's an everyday lesson that I always forget.
I think so.
Yeah. You know what you think about when I think about 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, and I think about whatever I was worrying about 20 years ago. If I could go back to that 20 year ago person and say, don't worry, it all works out. I know because I'm from 20 years in the future. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I often think, well, why doesn't the guy 20 years from now come back and tell me that? And I'm thinking, well, he's here. I'm him. All I have to do is remember. Yeah, I mean, gosh.
Do that.
Almost.
Actually, that's a coaching method. That's a strategy. You imagine yourself in the future, and you're looking back, and everything worked out. Maybe not exactly how you think it's going to be worked out, but you look back and tell yourself, whatever it is, you didn't need to worry about that. That wasn't important that you're stressing about right now.
When a baby is born, is that when the angel appears?
Well, I believe babies, before they are indoctrinated in our cultures and taught what's real and what's not, can see them.
Oh, I think so too.
They don't have that filter. They don't have that. How many babies do you see looking up into the space of their crib, and they just start smiling?
Yes, giggling. Oh, there's videos on the internet. They make you laugh. and if you read the text sometimes that the mom or the dad put on that, we don't know what she was laughing at. She was just laughing. Yeah. It's the cutest thing, yeah.
Right.
Well, and I told the story many times on the air, and I won't bore the audience, but I'll just tell you that my angel story comes from when I was 4 years old. I clearly saw it, and there was no face, there was no wings, it was just like a haze, but it was a female angel too, which some people say there are no female angels. I said, well, I saw one.
Yeah, right.
Why would there be no females? That'd be crazy. Only guy angels.
Yeah, no.
Can we go to a phone call, and then we'll take a break? Somebody called in, and I wanted to make sure we get that call in first. Kasey Claytor is our guest. The book is The Light of Grace. Thank you for calling. You're on the air now, and thank you for waiting.
Good morning, Kasey. It's talking about my son. When we were first married, we lived in Queens, New York, and we used to visit my wife's parents a lot, and they lived in Astoria. And anyway, my son knew his great-grandfather for a while there, and they used to. He always gravitated to his great-grandfather. Well, anyway, his great-grandfather died, and we're over there visiting, and my son went around. He would always go by the stairs because the bedrooms were upstairs. And all of a sudden, we're outside sitting on the porch, nice spring day and everything else. And all of a sudden, we hear my grandson going, "Papa,
Oh,
Papa."
wow.
That's what everybody calls him, Papa. And what does a 18-month or 2-year-old know about ghosts or visions or angels or anything like that? We never brought that up as far as raising our children.
Right.
And it was amazing to hear this. And he was on the stairs and he was looking up the stairs going, "Papa." And we just absolutely astounds us.
Wow.
Even to this
Beautiful.
day.
That's beautiful.
But anyway, I'll hang up and listen to your thoughts on that. I mean, this is,
Okay.
unbelievable.
That is
But
cool.
it happened. We were there.
That is awesome. Yeah. Gosh, and you see, this is the thing. Your book is making people talk about these things.
Yeah.
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 That's
I'm
wonderful.
not shy.
That's wonderful.
All right, I know we have a break, so let's do the break, and then we'll be right back. Because just like Kasey has this money side and this spiritual, so do we. Our money side is called commercials. We'll take that break right now and be right back. Where's my button? Here it is. We'll be right back.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk. And
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show, too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Not much more than a stray shower near the coast today. Otherwise, it's going to be partly sunny with a warm breeze and high of 80 to 85. Clear tonight, a low of 55 to 62. Sunshine tomorrow with a high of 82 to 87. And it is going to stay sunny Saturday, although it's a little cooler, high of 74 to 79. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
All right, 8 minutes before 11 o'clock. Let's return to Kasey Claytor. She's on the phone. Her book, again, is called The Light of Grace. We're so fascinated with this topic, Kasey, that we have not been fair to the book. So let's talk about the book specifically. Journeys of an Angel is the subtitle of The Light of Grace. Give us an idea of how did this start for you? How did the book itself start for you?
Well, actually, when I was young, I read a book called Oversoul 7, and it was slightly humorous. It was a light look at this angel in training, and it was a male. He was sitting on a cloud with his supervisor, and he had all these people on earth that he was in charge of in different time periods. And it's been a long time. I don't remember a lot of the details of the book, but it always stuck with me. That was such a neat idea.
Yeah.
What a cool idea. I'd like to take that idea and take it further with a more serious look, with a deeper look at the metaphysical aspects and how science now has with quantum physics has proven so many of these things, that life is all energy, all our earth, everything, cells, molecules are at their base just vibration, just energy.
I've heard that before too, and I don't.
Yeah.
I can't argue that it's not true, but I don't understand it really. How is physical things an energy? Is a rock an energy? Is that a vibration?
Yes, it's just vibrating really slow, so slow that we can't see it. It looks solid to us. But now that we have microscopes that are incredibly powerful, we look at quarks, which are the smallest particles, and beyond that, they're flashing on and off. They're not on all the time. So there's a piece of matter there, and then it's gone, and then it's there, and then it's gone. So basically, it's a wave of energy.
So then we are the physical us that we are. That's all just because it eventually goes away anyway. And if we can live as Papa did in the story of the caller. Papa was living on, and yet his body was probably in some grave somewhere, or maybe cremated. And so what does that mean? Does that mean that the invisible thing that we call the spirit is actually not invisible? that it's really visible, but just not to us?
I think that our spirit sees spirits. So if we connect with our inner selves or our spirit, we will be able to sense through our emotions, our sentience, knowing, or even visually, these energetic beings that could be angels, could be spirit guides, could be departed people.
Who is Grace in the book? Who is Grace?
Grace is the angel.
And she's the like the protagonist. You might say in a normal novel, the protagonist, right?
Yes, right.
Okay.
Right. She's the one that everybody's linked to.
And her dog's name is Alfred. Is that right?
Alfred, right.
I like how you have the different characters in the book, and their lives seem to be intertwined, thereby cementing their belief in angels.
Right, and since there's no time. Time is only in this space-time dimension, and when we're here, there's just. Well, let me back up a little bit. They're all linked in the eternal now, all the different incarnations, so that when one has something happen traumatically, it's going to cause waves of response that's going to hit all the other ones.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. So do you believe we reincarnate, or is that... How do we know the answer to that one?
I personally do, but you don't have to believe in reincarnation to understand the book. All these different people in different times that are in the book don't necessarily have to be one person reincarnating over and over again.
Yeah,
they
right.
Could just be different people.
I've often thought about that. When people say that they're having a seance and they're going to try to, contact George Washington, I always think, well, gosh, wouldn't he have come back by now? I mean,
yeah.
Somebody who died last week, okay, maybe that person, but this is always a fascinating topic. Kasey, give us a website. Do you have a website? KaseyClaytor.com, is that right?
Right, KaseyClaytor.com, KaseyClaytor.com. If you put that name in on Amazon, the book will come up. The e-version of the book should be up in a few weeks, but right now the soft cover is up there.
Did you have a lot of support when you wrote this book? Because sometimes there are naysayers out there.
Support as from the
about the
angelic
topic.
realm?
No, about the topic.
Just yes, absolutely. Some of my family members and some friends. I have another book out that's called The God of Anna, and several people have said, "Oh, don't put the name God in the title." But
oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So let's see. If I were to visit you for my financial interests, the first thing I would think is, gosh, she's pretty. That'd be the first thing. That's the man in me. And then we would start to talk, and I would say, okay, she knows her money stuff. Okay, so I'm going to trust her with my money. And then this subject comes up. You're not getting rid of me. You're going to have me at the other side of your desk for a few hours.
Well, it's so funny. I have two kinds of money clients. Half of them came from my meditation classes, and the other half came from the traditional brokerage industry looking for guidance on their 401k or whatever. And so there is some crossover. The state of Florida is not going to like to hear that.
But you must have to have like we have a clock, because we're looking at it right now. We got a minute. So you have to have a clock on your desk when somebody like me comes and wants to keep talking and talking and talking about this subject. Not to mention that you're a pretty lady, so that's going to keep me there too. But seriously, I think this topic would keep somebody across the desk from you, wouldn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Sure. Fascinating stuff.
It does happen sometimes. It does.
And it's very believable too. I mean, you want to believe it.
Well, I have good news. I have a copy of the book. I'd like to give it away. If you call me, I'll leave it for you here. Just tell me your name, and your name will be waiting on it for you. The rest of us have to go buy it. I found this wonderful website, KaseyClaytor.com, KaseyClaytor.com, and Amazon and all the other places sell the book as well. The Light of Grace, Kasey Claytor. Kasey, thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you very much, Robin and Larry.
You're welcome.
Enjoyed it.
We will take a break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In the hunt for a Brussels airport bombing suspect, authorities releasing new video asking for help looking for the so-called man in the hat. The Belgian prosecutor, through a translator, describing the suspect's route after the airport attack.
Light shirt, and he went up the Chaussée de Louvain up to Mézère, and he once again was spotted by CCTV cameras at 9:42.
ISIS claiming responsibility. Now, Syrian state TV says that an Islamic State group has abducted more than 300 workers near Damascus. And for Star Wars fans, a little something to whet your appetite.
State your name for the record.
Jin Ursa.